How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Iowa State Daily, here with the Sports Desk. I'm Brett Schwellmeyer, and I'm the sports editor.
I'm Pavel Markovic. I'm the assistant sports editor.
And we welcome you, finally, to the 100th episode of the Sports Weekly podcast. It's been a little while. It's been a couple months since we've had an episode, but we really wanted to plan out this 100th episode extravaganza, as we're going to call it today. We're going to jump right in. We've got a lot of content. We got a wheel that we're going to be spinning later on in the episode. We have some challenges, some different things on here, so watch the video because that's going to be, there throughout. But we'll start kind of with the Senior Bowl, the NFL Combine, and the NFL Draft because we kind of have to catch up with that, and it's kind of the big thing that's going to be happening this week.
Yeah, on Thursday, the NFL Draft starts, the round one. We're going to be seeing if any potential Cyclones will make round one, maybe like a surprise like Will McDonald will happen, or they'll obviously be drafted. It's either going to just be depending on which day. But, yeah, it's very exciting. I'm looking forward to it. And, kind of just jumping into it, the Senior Bowl, I think Jalen Noel, Jaden Higgins, Darian Porter, and Jalen Travis. I'm not sure if Malik Verdon was invited to the Senior Bowl.
I'm not sure either.
Okay, yeah. But I know at least those four were all invited, and they all performed very well, to say the least.
Yeah, I agree. We saw Higgins catch a touchdown, which was probably the highlight of everybody, but I think everybody had a really good weekend. Everybody was talking about the athleticism, the speed of Jalen Noel. We know that Darian Porter was talked a lot about his athleticism and kind of really his versatility. We know that he's been kind of all around special teams there at the defensive back position, so a really versatile player. And Jalen Travis, I think his stock really improved at these few events that he was at as well.
Absolutely. And I saw one tape against Marshall prospect Mike Green. He's one of those top edge prospects. And, he was dominating other offensive linemen. But when it came to Travis, I saw a couple of clips and he looked like he was holding his own. So, he's shown his ability to be really athletic. He showed it this year with Iowa State, too, a really good offensive lineman, and kind of boosted his stock for this NFL draft, because it seemed like going into the Senior Bowl, he might have been hinging on the 6th, 7th round, maybe an undrafted free agent, but now he might be solidified as a for sure draftee, maybe even like as high as I'd say round 4.
Yeah, the mock drafts that I've been seeing have kind of had him up there at like 4 or 5 probably, which I thought was a little surprising. But, you kept on talking about it to me like he did good in these events that he was at. So, yeah, I'm excited to see where he might end up. There's a couple teams that it looks like he probably could end up at, but I guess we'll just have to see how everything goes.
Absolutely.
We'll kind of jump into how about combine performances real quick.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll start with Jalen Noel. Monster performance from him. He was the only Cyclone who took part in every drill, so that was good that he was able to do that. 40-yard dash, 4.39 seconds, 1.51 10-yard split to rank 10th in the wide receiver group. Pretty solid.
Yeah, and you want to have that kind of speed for receivers. You want somebody really, really slow. And, it seemed like the receivers in general kind of all perform well, not just Iowa State people. And it's nice to see Noel, especially doing every event, put your name out there really more because showing your strength, obviously, with the bench. And he really performed on the bench, 23 reps. I think that was the best out of receivers. And the vertical, first in vertical, the broad jump was also first in. And it was top 6 in the 3-cone drill and the 20-yard shuttle. So I was really love to see what Jalen Noel has been able to do in this combine because, you've seen what he has done with his 4 years here at Iowa State, and it's just been awesome to see. And getting to see him now, hear his name maybe get called a little earlier than we expected is going to be really special, hopefully.
Yeah, you add that on with his 1,000-yard season this past season, and all of that's just a recipe for success, I feel like. He could definitely be a guy, maybe at first, maybe he's not one of the starting receivers. Maybe you put him in at that punt returner role because we know that he can do that. Right. He made Big 12 first team for being a punt returner. I still think he should have made it for being a receiver, but that's not neither here nor there. But I'm excited to watch Jalen's career develop in the NFL wherever he may end up.
Absolutely, it just kind of shows that speed, skill. Yeah. He's very strong, also the ability to change ways, and just all that, like you said. Yeah, it's going to be very fun to watch him on an NFL team.
Yeah, I think in today's day and age of the NFL, I think speed is probably the thing that every team is looking for. If you have a quarterback with a strong arm and a shifty receiver that can cut upfield really fast, you're probably going to be a winning team, I would
Absolutely,
assume.
Yeah.
Yep. Moving on from Jalen Noel, how about Darian Porter? We've seen it before. He's such a good athlete, no matter where you put him on the field. He was second in the cornerback group in the 40-yard dash, 4.3 seconds, 10-yard split of 1.49. So he was fastest of the Cyclones that went and second fastest of all of the cornerbacks that went.
Yeah, I'm not surprised with the speed. I mean, we've seen it. He's just really fast. Kind of the guy, and showing out special teams too, getting all those blocks. It takes real speed to get there that fast. So, great for him. That really boosted his stock as well, because I think Maxwell Harrison out of Kentucky got the top time, and it was like by matter of like milliseconds. So, but that's awesome to see from Porter. He didn't participate in the bench press, but he did kind of do a little bit of everything else. Vertical 36.5 inches, which was ninth, but second in the broad jump while being first in the 3-cone drill and 20-yard shuttle. So very good performances.
Yeah, I mean, awesome to see, especially when you kind of look at all the stuff that he kind of dealt with and just everything that he's kind of been through. To have him have as good of a performance that he did at the Combine, it was really awesome to see. And I'm, again, excited to see where he's going to end up on an NFL roster somewhere.
Right.
Then we'll move on to Jaden Higgins, the counterpart to Jalen Knoll. Obviously, fast again, 4.47 seconds in the 40-yard dash, split of 1.53. Not as good as Knowles, but obviously still pretty close. He's definitely a lot taller, so I mean he's got more of himself to run around with.
Right. I mean, he's a whole another 5 inches taller, and only like another. I'm surprised only like another 15 pounds heavier than him. So 4.47 for his kind of size. He's going to be kind of like an X receiver. That's pretty good, honestly, for seeing kind of like that. So good to see he was able to really perform there as well. I mean, he didn't do all the events like Knoll, unfortunately, but he had a vertical of 39 inches, a broad jump of 10 feet, 8 inches to end his time, and those are 6th and 8th in those categories respectively. So, I mean, top 10 for both. That's pretty good to see. But, it's going to be interesting to see, especially with Higgins for what he did his only 2 seasons. I mean, barely not getting 1,000, but then eclipsing 1,000 yards his last season. So, going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely going to be a vertical threat, a guy who can get downfield, a guy that you can throw something up, and he's probably going to catch it more often than not, I would assume.
Right.
Moving on from him, how about Jalen Travis?
Mm-hmm.
He was a guy, again, that we were talking about that was probably there maybe like 6th, 7th round. But then you look at his Combine performance and start with his 40-yard dash, 5.14, which is, not really the best, but I mean, when you consider a lineman, a guy of his size, that's pretty solid, I would say.
Absolutely. And the 10-yard split of 1.8 seconds too. I mean, that's faster than just, most humans too. So seeing him at the size to run that fast, I mean, this offensive line class in general for the NFL draft is very deep. Guys like Will Campbell from LSU, Armand Membu from Mizzou. So seeing him, be able to obviously not do the greatest in 40-yard dash, but still a decent time. It's not like one of those slow guys, like 6 or 7 seconds, that, and it's like, okay. But other categories where he really shined. I mean, vertical 35 inches and broad jump 9 feet 4 inches, and those are 2nd and 4th respectively. So top 5 in both for that talented of a class. That's really good. Yeah,
that tells me that he's probably got really good technique, really good footwork. He can move around a lot, obviously, and he doesn't give up sacks either. He barely gave up any. So, I definitely think that Jalen Travis will probably end up maybe, I'm thinking 5th round probably.
Yeah, I'd say as high as 4th, maybe 5th. And, we also did talk about the bench press as well. I mean, he's got 26 reps in, was a 3-way tie for 7th, so he's still top 10. But, obviously going from a guy, like we said, from like 6th, 7th, maybe not even drafted, to now probably solidifying a draft spot, just maybe a little earlier, like 4th or 5th, maybe still around the 6th, 7th. But I definitely see him getting his name called.
Yeah, absolutely. Then the final guy who participated in the Combine was Malik Verdon. We know that towards the end of the season, he was kind of out a lot. He had that huge cast that he was wearing on his arm. So he came into the weekend strong, I thought. He was in the 2nd team, all Big 12 honors at defensive back. When he came into the Combine, he only participated in 2 drills. Those were the 3-cone drill and the 20-yard shuttle. So obviously he was limited, but I thought that he did pretty solid in those 2 that he was able to compete in.
Absolutely. I mean, he finished 3rd among his group for the 3-cone drill, 7.06 seconds, and then 20-yard shuttle, which was 6th at a 4.34 seconds for the safety. So overall, solid times for him. You just kind of wish he did a little bit more, but then again, you said he struggled with those injuries a little bit, so it's kind of hard to do a lot of the stuff. But he also just did, other drills like what other people like receivers and stuff runs normal drills with balls and stuff. So I think he looked really good in this. Just depends on if he's going to actually get drafted, because you want to do a little bit more to try and get your name called. It's going to be TBD. I feel like if his name's going to get called.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of 50-50, but there's a couple ways you can look at this, right? You can look at it like, okay, he was limited and he didn't do a lot of drills, and that's going to hurt him in his draft stock. Or you can look at it like he was injured, he still went here and made the trip, and he was able to participate in the drills that he could. I think that shows that he's a fighter and that he's not going to let any type of injury slow him down too much, and that he's just going to work through everything and, see things through and hope that things pan out for him.
Absolutely. I mean, even you could see him as a special teamer too. They really need that these days in the NFL. So, I hope to see him get picked up. And, I mean, it's going to be day 3, but, hoping we hear his name called.
Yeah. I mean, Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Iowa State's had it before, and look how his career has turned out.
Yeah. The Chiefs got Mr. Relevant this year as their last pick, barring a trade, of course. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I guess we will. All right. So before we get into our mock drafts and kind of see where those Cyclones are possibly going to end up at the one that we're going to look at, we're going to take to the wheel here real quick. We're each going to do a spin before the mock draft. We're not going to read off the categories until we get them spun. So if you're able to read them, but we'll read them off after we spin. Are you going first or am I going first?
I think you have the honors, Brett.
All right, here we go. First spin. There's about 10, 12 categories on there probably.
Right.
What did we get?
First one is, what is the capacity of Jack Trice Stadium?
Oh, that one's easy. That's a freebie. It's 61,500.
Correct. There we go. First one.
All right. All right.
Now my turn?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I think I got the easiest one to start.
It might have been, yeah. You could.
All right, let's see. You get the same one.
The same one?
The same one.
I think 61,500.
I think you got to respin. I think he's got to respin.
I mean, I did get the correct answer also, but heard it from you, of course, first.
I helped out.
Let's see what it has.
See, oh, it's different.
I'd hope it'd be.
Oh, your favorite game to report on in any sport?
Oh, man, that's going to be interesting.
You've done a lot.
I kind of have to go, honestly, sport by sport because I don't really know if I have a singular favorite one. So football, the UCF game this past season, love that. I mean, not just the family rivalry between it with me and my brother, but still it was a very fun game to watch. I know it was kind of shaky to start, but, that finish was just immaculate. I mean, you could say the Kansas State game, too, at the end, but to make the Big 12 championship game, but I'd obviously say UCF, just personal ties and just honestly favorite. Men's basketball game, it'd have to be to report on.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of good ones.
It's probably the one in Iowa City.
Okay.
Yeah, that one is just like, kind of the same thing, down early, hopes are down, but then they came back, and especially being enemy territory like that was very – I mean, that place is deafening as is. The way it's structured, too, and the fans at Iowa, give them credit, they're very loud. But the way they came back from that, and, there's a lot of our fans as well, so I think that played a big part in it. So it's very happy to see that. And I guess women's basketball included, I'd probably say – let's see here.
I'd probably say – I know which one I would pick.
Which one would you say?
I would say the Kansas State one last year in Ames that went to overtime.
Yeah.
Double overtime.
That one or the Baylor – I think it was there for the Baylor one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'd say that one or the Baylor one because, beating a ranked team, always love to see that. So, probably a tie, honestly.
Yeah.
That was probably mine.
Yeah. I would say for mine, just to kind of follow up with it as well, football, I'd probably say the Cy-Hawk game in Kinnick this year. Just that atmosphere, the comeback, being in Iowa City, I thought it was just so cool. Just an awesome experience.
Yeah.
Orlando and Arlington were also a lot of fun too, but that one being the first trip of the year to a place other than Jack Trice Stadium. Fantastic game.
Absolutely.
Basketball, for men's basketball, I would... That one's tough.
I know. That sounds like a lot of them.
There's a lot that you could probably pick for this one.
Yeah. Maybe not late in the season, but of course, early on when they were on a roll.
Yeah. Geez. I don't know. Maybe the Marquette game, actually.
Marquette?
I feel like that one, early in the season, a top 10 matchup in Hilton Coliseum. That one, I think, gave a lot of people confidence in what Iowa State could do. It gave me a lot of confidence in them, too. And I think it kind of set the tone of what the season could be, but then things kind of started to spiral as things went on. But, that one was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and Marquette was actually ranked higher than Iowa State in that game, too. Yeah. So that just even, set the bar even higher, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, and I mean, whiteout game, sold out, all the students packed the house. So, yeah, that was a good time.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we'll get back to the wheel in a little bit, but first we're going to look at the mock draft. This is one that we found on NFL.com. It's got all 7 rounds.
Yeah.
And I believe it has 4 Cyclones that are in here right now.
Yeah, it looks about it.
All right. Well, the first one that kind of pops up is Jalen Knoll.
Mm.
And they have him going 41st overall to Pavle's Chicago Bears. Pavle, how do you feel about that?
To start off, love Jalen Knoll. Kind of talked about it. You can do a little bit of everything, but
you don't want him on your team.
No, I didn't say. I mean, I'm not going to say that. I'm saying at pick 41 for the Bears, I feel like that's kind of high. I mean, with the positions we need. I mean, obviously, I don't remember who they have for us taking first round. Kenneth Grant, 39th overall. Love him out of Michigan. But I wouldn't say no to it necessarily. I would say if we potentially got him in the 3rd round, I'd be like, oh yeah, I love this pick. It's kind of a steal. But I don't know. I feel like 41 might be too early, and I feel like the position of needs for the Bears are kind of higher than what we get out of Knoll right now.
Fair enough. We do have the Jets actually the pick after the Bears. So if Jalen falls, I'm not going to be too mad. But I know that the Jets probably need an offensive lineman.
Right.
Or defensive lineman, just linemen in general.
Yeah, get in line.
Yeah. I mean, hey, like Jalen Travis is out there as a lineman.
Right.
If he falls to the Jets late, I'm going to be happy with that.
Right.
New York Cyclones, am I right?
Right, yeah.
You got to add to it.
That's true, yeah. I mean, I know I just took a peek at the first round. You guys take Membu out of Mizzou. We take Will Campbell out of LSU. So there's our O-line right there. So, if you did go Knoll, then you couldn't.
Stack them up.
Exactly. Next guy was...
was he in round 2 or was he in round 3?
I think round 3. So, yes, round 3, next Cyclone taken, 77th to the New England Patriots is Jaden Higgins. Brett, what do you think about that as a Jets fan?
Well, he's certainly someone that I wouldn't really want the Jets to be going up against. I know how good of a vertical threat he is. But I do have, I'm confident in the Jets secondary. I think it's one of their best strengths, having Sauce Gardner back there and everything like that. I think that this could be a good fit for Higgins, just because we know that New England kind of throughout the years has kind of taken these scrappy type of receivers, guys that maybe don't get that first chance, maybe guys on the second, third chance. If Jaden Higgins can hit it off with New England on his first chance, I think he has an opportunity to be a real franchise guy for them over there at receiver.
Absolutely. I mean, I think I kind of love that fit, especially for what Drake May needs right now. Right. I mean, he got Diggs already, but you can't really trust him. He's getting older, and they kind of need one of those bigger guys to help May and the Patriots offense kind of flow easily. So I love this pick. I mean, I don't know if he'll go round 3. I think he's more round 2 type of guy just because of the receiver he is, big-bodied X receiver type of thing. But, I mean, if he goes to the 7th to the Patriots, I think that's a steal, honestly, for where it is.
Yeah, I could definitely see Higgins or Knoll going ahead of one another.
Right.
They're so good in their own ways, and yet they complemented each other so well when they played together. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I feel like Knoll's probably the slightly faster of the two. They're both really fast, but still.
Just so slightly, but then again, you factor in size and stuff.
You got the height and the physicality of Higgins there. Two totally different receivers.
Right.
It just depends on what each team needs, and I feel like this will fit with New England pretty well.
Absolutely. And you can't go wrong with either one, of course.
No, of course, yeah. And I feel like with New England, too, you have to get people to build around Drake May. Because I don't think that Drake May is that bad of a quarterback, really. I think that he's a guy that New England can thrive with if they give him the pieces.
I mean,
Jaden Higgins could be that piece.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Drake May is probably second best quarterback in the division right now, or could be at least. Could be. I don't know.
I think he can be. Yeah.
Yeah, could be because I mean, both of you guys with Fields, our old quarterback. You'll have fun with him, and then whatever Tua's gonna do, and obviously Josh Allen's spoken for, but definitely, just to say least for Jaden Higgins would definitely help out Drake May's development.
I agree. I'm not too happy about Fields on my team, but that's neither here nor there. Then the next guy who was taken
same round,
yes, that's Darian Porter to a team that also has a few Cyclones on it. That's the Ravens, pick 95, which is projected. You've also got Charlie Kolar and TJ Tampa on the Ravens, so seems like a place that Cyclones tend to go, I guess. Which I mean, why wouldn't Darian Porter?
Why not? Yeah, rebuild the old Iowa State DB room with the Ravens. Maybe Jontez Williams, whenever he goes to the draft, gets picked by the Ravens too. So that'll be fun to watch. I mean,
he's a guy that will get drafted too.
Absolutely. Yep. He's really shown out a lot, and I expect him to be highly drafted, one of the top corners available when he does declare. Yep. But sticking with Porter, I mean, I love the fit for the Ravens. They want to experiment with him. I mean, kind of what we talked about, only a year or two at cornerback, not really a lot of experience at the position, but being able to be a receiver, be very athletic. I think it plays very well, and I think I don't know about 95, maybe a little bit early I could see Porter, but at the same time I understand that kind of taking a gamble here with a guy who didn't really play a lot of defensive back.
Right, yeah. I think that his special teams background is definitely going to help him out here too.
Yeah.
The fact that they can play him there, and maybe that's where he will end up. You know, he started at Iowa State really with the special teams, worked on his craft, made it to that defensive back room. Maybe he does the same thing at Baltimore. You know, go back to special teams, cut your teeth there, prove that you can, you know, be a part of this team, and then they move you to that, you know, cornerback position again. And I think that playing special teams also, just that time on the field, I feel like is so valuable that's probably the biggest teacher sometimes for guys, especially in the NFL, knowing that this is the type of competition that you're going to be up against.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like that preseason for him is definitely going to be a big proving ground to see, you know, what best fit it is going to be for him, no matter what team he's on, Ravens or not.
Yeah, and especially for the Ravens, too. You know, they kind of have a deep cornerback room with Marlon Humphrey. They just got Nate Wiggins out of Clemson with Tampa, too. So it's going to be a very competitive room. I feel like it's going to be a fun room to watch if he does go to Baltimore. But I think he can really stand out with his athleticism and, you know, have a lot more playing time if he goes there. But that's just in general to each team. I feel like he could play, honestly, in any team right now.
Yeah, we're actually going to stay with the Ravens as we go one round further to round number 4. This is where they have Jalen Travis going to the Ravens, pick 129 overall. So, again, I don't know. I feel like the New York Jets might not be the New York Cyclones anymore. It might be the Baltimore Cyclones now.
Yeah, it's starting to look
if
like
this holds out.
I mean, yeah. But, you know, we love the fit right there, too. I mean, Ronnie Stanley getting a little older for the Ravens, too, so you could kind of see him kind of step up with the injuries he's had also. Yeah, but I think I also really love this pick, too, with his athleticism, his performance at the Combine, the Senior Bowl. He's going to be vying for some playing time over there in Baltimore.
I agree. And I feel like with how Baltimore's offensive scheme is, they're really run heavy. A lot of pulling of guards and tackles and everything, and, you know, read options, triple options, everything, because Lamar's crazy when he runs the ball. I feel like having a guy like Jalen Travis that can move around and actually do some things is really going to benefit Baltimore should he go there.
Absolutely,
It's going to allow them to do a lot of cool things, I think.
Yeah.
Really open up the offense.
Absolutely. You know, we talked about Porter and Travis in this mock draft going to the Ravens, and I know you guys have to take a trip to Baltimore, so have fun with that one. I mean, obviously a lot of Cyclone fans will be watching that, you know, New York Cyclones versus potential Baltimore Cyclones, but then again, this is really a mock. I don't think that all this will fall into place, but you know, it could be interesting to say the least.
I think it would be too, especially if you can get even more guys, you know, from Iowa State on the same team. I think that's pretty cool.
Right.
Definitely a unique thing in the NFL, especially with a school like Iowa State that's, you know, definitely not one of the blue bloods of, you know, college football, not like in LSU, Ohio State, you know, Alabama type of school.
Right. And I'm going to ask you a question real quick. If you had to pick one guy right now to potentially go round 1, who could you see it and where to?
Oh, to go round 1?
Yeah, because I know as of right now, all these mocks we're seeing doesn't look like a Cyclone's going to go round 1, but if you were to pick one right now on the spot, and if you see where a fit could be, where do you think that person will go?
Okay, well, I'm going to start by saying it's not Jalen Travis. I'm sorry, Jalen. That's, you know, not going to happen. I feel like teams are probably higher on Knoll than they are Higgins, based probably solely on the Combine performance. Because when you look at their yards, when they did Iowa State, it's pretty similar, I would say, this season in terms of like yardage and just, you know, general stuff like that. I honestly feel like Darian Porter would jump up to round number 1. I can see him being in a wide range of picks probably, but I feel like with his athleticism, his, you know, adaptability to different types of positions, I think that would help them out a lot. And I could see him going late in the first round. There's a lot of projected trades at the bottom. Like there's a projected trade with the Bills, the Chiefs, the Eagles, all at the end.
We'll go with no trades, though.
No trades?
No trades.
Okay, no trades straight
teams.
up.
Yeah.
Jeez. I'd probably go like pick 31 to the Chiefs, honestly.
Yeah, they could use his talents. I mean, the cornerback room, I mean, I know they just got rid of Snead this past season, but they were just fine, still made the Super Bowl. But I could definitely see that, you know, especially at special teams too. They could really use a guy like Porter.
Right.
Sticking with the same team but different player, give me the Kansas City native, Jalen Knoll, going to the Chiefs, 31st overall. I mean,
that'd be
we've
cool.
seen what the Chiefs have done with speedy receivers, mainly Xavier Worthy, and then of course getting Tyreek Hill. I mean, getting a guy like Noel would be huge, especially not even just speed too. His overall ability to really go out for the ball. He guys got good vertical for his size, 5'11" frame, and especially on returners, like you said, special teams play a big part too. So if I were to say a guy, I mean, I definitely picked Noel to his hometown Chiefs because I know he definitely enjoyed going back to when he did play Kansas at the Chiefs Stadium, but unfortunately the result didn't turn out. But
yeah, I'll double down on Porter real quick here. The Chiefs are pretty high on young defenders. You look at a guy like Nick Bolton. I think he won the Super Bowl in his first year with them. So, I mean, Kansas City's proven that they can take these young defenders and, turn them into champions. So, I'll double down with Porter right there.
There we go. Yeah. Hopefully they can find at least one of them. Maybe I don't know if all three will. At least Higgins, Porter, and Noel are the top three. We'd probably see round one, if anything, but we'll see.
I don't think it'll pan out. I think that the highest any of them are going to go are probably like mid-round 2, as it's projected with Noel right now.
That sounds about right.
I don't know if he'll go to Chicago, but I'm thinking around there is where he'll probably go.
Yeah, or the Jets too, and even then, some other team around there.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it before, though, that Cyclone players get taken early. Like, I mean, we saw it with Will McDonald with the Jets. Yeah. I mean, 15th overall. Like, that's nuts. But, I mean, he lived up to it. Nearly the sack leader this past season.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we should spin the wheel again.
Sounds about right.
All right,
so you go again.
Okay. I hope that we get something different. I don't want to spin it again.
All right, let's see here. Matt Campbell impersonation halftime. Matt Campbell impersonation plus halftime speech.
Oh gosh, this is like the one that I did not want to do, man.
This is the one I was thinking about. This one's unique.
Oh boy. All right.
You don't have to get up or anything. Just
pretend. I gotta get ready though. So
that's true. Yeah.
Gosh.
Let's see it.
This is gonna be so bad, you guys. I'm sorry. All right. Okay. All right, man. We might be down, but we're not out. You've got to fight for one another, and the reality of it is we are not out of this game. Bleed for each other, fight for each other, and we're going to win this football game because we're Iowa State.
I love it.
That was so bad.
Hey, that was better than what I could do, honestly. I was kind of just debating in my head, I don't know if I could do this one if I actually pulled it. So I was like, that's pretty good, honestly.
I had to throw in the reality of it is.
Right, yeah. You always throw in the reality of it is. Common term between
the reality of it is that sucked.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good for my standards, I'd say.
Cool. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was awesome. All right, your turn.
All right, let's see it. Maybe. Hope it's not the same one.
You got the capacity one again.
Wow, look at me, huh?
That must be the...
If I get a third time,
it's probably weighted. Yeah. Hey, you got it again. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Blindfold logo drawing, the Signado.
Oh, no.
All right.
Oh, boy. So Sharpie.
I'll do it, too.
You can do it, too? All right.
So
is there a timer, or is it just drawing?
We'll just do, draw until you think you have it. So we'll, close our eyes, look away. So, we have concluded drawing our Signado logos. We haven't seen our own drawings yet because we kept our eyes closed and everything. We haven't seen each other's, so we're going to reveal them right now. Pavle, since you spun the wheel, do you want to do yours first?
Oh, boy. So, I'm going to show you Brett first, and then I'll kind of show the audience. So, I'm looking at this for the first time.
I mean, you can kind of see it. It's there.
It just looks very, yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to try and see if this will show. Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of see what he's going for.
Yeah, I can't really draw faces apparently, but, I can kind of get the idea.
It's tough because the lettering is a weird part of it.
Also, the Sharpie's blending in with the tornado, so all right, I'll see yours.
All right, here we go.
Wow.
Hey,
that's pretty good. Wow.
The face is kind of weird. The fist is a little... not where it should be.
Right.
But, yeah.
That's pretty good. I'm not going to lie.
That's my take on the Signado.
That's pretty good.
The bottom of it definitely came out a lot better than the top of it.
Right. No,
I mean, there's a face there, but
that's so much better.
I thought I was about to draw off the page. I thought I was drawing way up here.
I was ready to draw on my suit. I'm not going to lie, but wow, that was very well done. Good job.
Awesome. I think we should do another spin.
At least another spin.
All right.
Barring
capacity of Jack Trice Stadium.
Let's see. Would you rather segment.
Oh, okay.
So I'll give at least a couple would you rathers, I guess. So,
Okay. Iowa State related.
Yeah. So would you rather football related? Would
Okay.
you rather Iowa State win its first Big 12 championship or beat Iowa for the next 10 years?
Beating Iowa for the next 10 years would be really cool. But it would only eat into a dent in the deficit that is the deficit right now, because it's like, what, 47 to 24?
Yep.
So if you win 10 in a row, it's still 47 to 34.
Yeah. It's
And
not
you could,
tall
you can use that, as an argument of like, hey, we won this whole decade, literally. And the Iowa fans are still like, yeah, but we still lead the overall series. But it's like, look at, modernity or whatever. But
Right.
I would honestly pick the Big 12 championship.
Really?
They've never done it before.
That's true.
They've beat Iowa before. They've never won a Big 12 championship.
That's true. Yeah.
And they were
first time
so
for
close
everything.
this year.
Yeah.
I mean, beating Iowa, I said it was my favorite, game to cover for football this year. But I feel like winning the Big 12 championship, to go there and experience it, I think that would have been just like literally the cherry on top of everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one thing that I feel like Iowa State's, have literally been waiting forever for. I want it to happen.
That's fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Men's I'm kind of just do one for football, one for men's basketball, one for women's basketball, if that works for you.
Sure.
Men's basketball, let's see, either
It's probably going to be like Final Four related or something.
it's a good question, actually. Maybe take a darker turn on this one.
Uh-oh.
Never have TJ Otzelberger make it past the Sweet 16 ever in his tenure at Iowa State, or
How are we going to top this?
that's I don't know, it's a question. Would you rather have that or Iowa State never win a Big 12 championship again with TJ?
Wow. Never make it past the Sweet 16 or never win another Big 12 title.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you got one already, and then the others.
They've already won a Big 12 championship, and you
Right.
don't necessarily need to do that to win the NCAA tournament.
Right.
I'd probably pick the latter.
The latter, yeah. I mean,
I want there to be like an Elite Eight or a Final Four or something.
right, yeah. And I was kind of, I couldn't really decide on that.
Yeah,
the March Madness one, it's so hard to choose
Right.
the other one because, you want to make best Sweet 16, the biggest tournament of the year type of thing.
Yeah, you could do like win the national championship. Would you rather win the national championship like this year, or like, and never win it again, or like make the Final Four every year and never win a championship?
Right. Okay, so another one is, would you rather...
This one's women's basketball, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so this one's going to be interesting. Would you rather have Bill Fennelly win a national championship or Audie Crooks go first overall in the WNBA draft?
Bill win a championship.
Yeah, I feel like that one's kind of a layup because nice to be Audie to see. She's going to go first round for sure when she does go to the WNBA draft. But yeah, I don't know. That would seem like a layup, but that's definitely sure.
I mean, Audie first overall. Like, Audie's the one who's like probably bringing the national attention to Iowa State and has been for the past 2 seasons. And it'd be awesome to see her go first overall. But for Bill to have been there as long as he has, 30 seasons, he's made the Elite Eight before. I think it would be so cool for Bill to finally win a championship. I think that he's so deserving of one.
100%, I agree. I don't think there's a coach here right now that deserves it more than him.
Yep.
He's been through so much at this university.
Yep.
All right. Another wheel spin, you say?
Sure.
See if we can try and get each option, or we can kind of just try and go through all the options we wrote down in this one. So,
well, we've done what?
We've done 1, 2, 3.
We've done 5, haven't we?
I think so. We could just skip to the one.
I think it's your turn.
Oh, right, it is. Yeah, let me spin one more time and get another one, and then
This guy.
the last 2 we can just kind of pick out. So hopefully it's not the same one.
Oh, you got the Matt Campbell impersonation?
Okay. No,
right.
apologies, audience, but I'm not doing that.
3 spins. This is spin number 2.
3
Otherwise,
spins or just
otherwise I pick one. All right.
Yeah. Or one we haven't done, you mean?
This one is build an all-time Iowa State lineup in men's basketball.
Oh, golly. I mean, I'm going to be honest right now. My knowledge of Iowa State sports is not as much as Brett's, to be fair, because, to be fair, I only really started caring about college sports when I committed to Iowa State.
Fair enough.
Never really found the college sports really that fun when I was growing up, mainly a professional sports guy. But
They've changed for the better.
of course, yeah, I
Yeah.
love college sports now. So recency bias here, of course. But I still know some Iowa State greats. So Halliburton, of course. I mean, I don't even play long. I'm just kind of talking about, I guess,
NBA
Iowa State
guys.
time and NBA kind of. Who'd be a shooting guard? I might pull off recency bias because I'm kind of drawing a blank.
I mean,
right
there's
now.
some recent ones that probably should be there, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You can go after me too because you have a deeper knowledge than I do right now. So you're gonna get like the basic Iowa State fan starting five just because
Real.
they're popular or they're yeah. So
Keyshawn, Taman, Curtis.
right, yeah. Honestly, might be Curtis Jones or
Fair
I was either
enough.
thinking him or Isaiah Brockington, but I'd probably lean Curtis Jones.
I would lean Curtis Jones there.
At the 3, or not even 3. I don't even know if I'd pick any Iowa State big men, honestly. So Halliburton, Curtis, Niang, of course.
Oh, yeah.
2 more people. You could throw out some names too, just to try and see if I can find the name.
I would probably throw in Jamal Tinsley. I know he's from early 2000s guy, but I think that he was a fantastic player.
I'll do that, and then Naz Long.
Ooh, Naz is a great pick.
Yeah. I'll go those 5, so that way just get it over with.
There we go.
You can hear my basic picks out of the way and let Brett, the expert, go.
Naz was my favorite on those
Naz,
mid 2010s teams. He was so awesome. I miss those teams.
Yeah.
They were so fun.
They look like fun.
I love the teams we have now, though. But
that's true, yeah. All right, your turn. What do you got?
All right, well, I already said Jamal Tinsley,
Yep.
obviously. George Niang. He's probably going to be the biggest guy that I have out there. Like you're saying, I don't know if there's really a center that I'd want to pick. This is tough. I'm going to pick Tyrus McGee. Fantastic three-point shooter. Made the three-point challenge for college one time. He's kind of in my Curtis Jones role.
Right.
He was like Curtis Jones before Curtis Jones. I'm going to throw Monte Morris in there.
Oh, Monte Morris.
He had probably the best assist to turnover ratio in school history. That dude was a menace with the basketball.
So that's 3, I think. So
I think 4.
4? Okay, so yeah, at least one more.
Yeah. I didn't say Tyrese.
Yeah, Tyrese.
Tyrese. There we
Tyrese
go.
has 4 and then 5.
Okay, so I have Tyrese, George,
Jamal, and
Tyrese McGee.
yeah, McGee. So I think it's 4. Unless you want to include Naz Long, but
Nah, you already took him.
I mean, we're sharing the same players already, so it didn't matter.
You know what?
Say it's your one of your favorites. So
I might throw in Fred Hoiberg. Honestly.
Fred Hoiberg.
Yeah.
Okay.
90s. Also, shout out Brad Pippett.
Brad Pippett.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
There you go.
Sweet.
All right. So I think we have 2 options left. I think so, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's 10 options actually. So we've each spun how many times? 3.
3, I think.
Okay, so we have 4 more. So you might as well try and spin at least one more. You think, or?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Here we go.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, you look.
Favorite game to report on, but I already did that.
Yep.
You can spin it again.
All right.
If not, we can
If
just
I don't
pick.
get one this time, you pick one for me.
Okay. We already did the would you rather. So next one I'm going to throw at you is
I know we got
going on the topic of starting 5 and just Iowa State players in general. Mount Rushmore of Iowa State's athletes.
Iowa State athlete Mount Rushmore. All
not
right.
just basketball, not just football, in general.
Okay. Well, to be fair, so I'm going to preface this and say I can only do one person per sport. Okay. No, that's dumb. Because
no. Just your best 4, whatever you feel, and just.
I'm going to exempt current Iowa State athletes.
Okay. Yeah,
because their careers aren't over and everything, and we don't know their full body of work yet. But there's some that I think could definitely be up there, like Audie Crooks, Rocco Becht probably could, Taman Lipsey maybe. So just some names that could be on a Mount Rushmore in the future.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with George Niang.
Okay.
I think he's the perfect embodiment of what a Cyclone is all about. The passion he played with, the energy. He was definitely like the heart and soul of Iowa State. Those teams made the Sweet 16 with Fred Hoiberg back in the early to mid 2010s. George was the guy.
He was.
I'm going to throw on Troy Davis. running back from the 90s.
Yeah, Troy.
I swear if he was on a team like Alabama or like a name brand school, he would have probably won a Heisman.
Oh, yeah.
He was that good. Jeez,
Two more.
this is tough. I'm going to throw Seneca Wallace in there.
Seneca Wallace, popular pick. All right.
Yep. I'll honorable mention Brock Purdy.
Okay.
But I think that Seneca doing what, he did back in the day when Iowa State was like, bad, and turning them around back then in the early 2000s, it was awesome. Also, his run is still the best play in Iowa State history. Seneca's run.
Yeah.
Absolute cinema.
You cannot beat it.
Absolute
You
cinema.
cannot beat it. Now, number 4.
Number 4. I'm going to honorable mention Dan Gable for the wrestling programs. A lot of, Olympic gold medals and everything, NCAA championships. I feel like I could go back to, basketball or football again, but there's been so many of those. I think I'm going to go with women's basketball. And I think I'm honestly going to pick Bridget Carleton.
Bridget Carleton, all right.
Yep. I mean, she was so close to winning an a WNBA championship last season with the Lynx. I think that what she brings to that team is awesome. And I think that she's honestly a cyclone that's probably not talked about enough with what she's been doing, at the pro level.
Yeah,
So.
Bill Fennelly's talked a lot about her too, just her work ethic and her drive to want to really compete, and it really got her to a point where she knocked on the door of a WNBA championship. So
Yep, yeah, it was fun watching her in that Lynx team last season.
Yeah,
yep.
just outclassed by the Liberty and Sabrina Ionescu.
Yeah, it was a rough series, but
what you can do?
Whatever.
All right, I'll try and spin one more time.
All right, spin it once, and then if you don't get anything, I'll pick one.
Okay. I think there's 3 possible options left. I just don't know if.
Name as many Iowa State athletes who went pro. 1 minute timer.
Oh, no. Okay.
So when we tested this a couple weeks ago, I got it, I spun it, and I got 20 names.
20 names. I will probably not get 20 names.
I'm going to throw a timer up here for 1 minute.
And this is just basketball and football, right?
Any sport who went pro. So you could do like WNBA.
Yeah, basketball and football. I don't know about wrestling and all that. So, I mean, we'll just go for it and see what happens. All right, ready?
All right, are you ready?
Okay.
Are you set?
Yep.
Go.
Purdy, Hall, McDonald, Tampa. I'm not going to count any of the pre-draftees like we talked about. I'm going to Halliburton, Niang, Carlton, Suarez.
Yep.
Monte Morris.
Yep.
Tinsley.
Mm-hmm.
Budge.
30 seconds.
You
had one of them on your team for basketball.
Right. Matt Thomas.
Oh, yeah. That's a great pull. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about the other guy you're talking about. Lindell Wigginton. Random pull, but oh boy.
10 seconds.
Oh no. I'm drawing a blank. Oh, AJ Klein.
Mm-hmm.
Clay Chase-Melly. And
time is up.
14.
14. That's not bad.
Yeah.
You could have also said Bridget Carleton. Or did you say her?
Yeah, I said her.
Okay. Ashley Jones.
Ashley Jones, yeah. She was brief, but
yeah. Charlie Kolar.
Damn, yeah.
Chase Allen, I'm sure went.
Yeah, he played for the Bears. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he only played preseason kind of thing.
Abdel Nader, I think, went pro.
Oh, right, the Suns, yeah.
Bryce DeJohn Jones, R.I.P. basketball player. I think it was on the Pelicans.
Oh, right, yeah. Rip.
Yep. Hoiberg,
yeah. I can't forget Hoyball.
Yep. So, yeah, there's, 14's not bad. 14's not bad.
Now, I'll see which one. I think we only have,
all right. One left each.
I think so. So, would you rather choose this one, or would you let me choose?
Doesn't matter to me.
Okay. I'll give you this one.
Okay.
If you were the AD, Jamie, what would you do?
Oh, boy. Like, if I could make one change or something?
Sure, yeah, one big change.
Okay, one big change.
I mean, there's one obvious one, but...
I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
I mean, it's,
Yeah, that's obvious. But, yeah, go ahead and say what else would you do if you're the AD? My
one big change, if I was the AD, This is tough. There's a lot of things that you could do. See, you could add a baseball program, but then you have to add like a ton of other women's sports too. It's stuff like rowing or equestrian or something. That's an avenue you could take.
Yeah, it's an open up can of worms.
But it probably costs a lot of money and raise tuition and prices and all that. And you'd have to build new facilities and everything. And it's just a hassle and a lot of work. And I wouldn't want to do that.
Thinking like a real AD right here.
I know. Yeah. I'm trying to put myself in Jamie's shoes right here and, try and figure stuff out.
Yeah.
This is tough. There's an obvious one. You know what? You know what I would do? I would lower the cost of parking.
Parking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Make it more accessible for people. And actually, they might have to raise it now that Sci-Town's kind of taking up parking.
Sure. Yeah, the stadium parking. Are you talking about parking in general, like on campus, or are you talking about just like, for Jack Trice?
Like Jack Trice and Hilton and all that stuff.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, or at least like keep it stagnant with what it is. Don't raise parking prices. Just because it's going to be harder for people to park places. And,
right.
Keeping those, I get keeping the exclusivity of those spots, but the exclusivity is already there, as in there's not that many spots. So I think it should just kind of be like a, you snooze, you lose type basis.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
Plus then that could entice people to, buy more merchandise or something.
True. Yeah, the size locker room there and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, spend more money at Sci-Town when you're spending less on parking.
Exactly. Yeah. Smart idea.
There we go. What's the last one?
That one's already on the wheel. You can see it.
Sing the Iowa State fight song.
No cheating.
No cheating.
Yeah.
So like no
I promise I don't have it. I'm just gonna.
You know it, don't you?
I'm just gonna close it partially. I don't think I'm gonna get it perfect. So
I can help out.
Perfect. I'll try and go as much as I can, and then if you want, you can kind of.
I'll jump in when needed.
All right. Here we go. Apologies in advance. We'll fight for Iowa State. We'll fight the battle through.
You skipped right to the end.
That's all. I fight for Iowa State. And then jump to fight the battle through, and for ISU.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a
You
novice.
skipped the whole song.
Yeah. Basically, it's the whole song. All right. What would you do?
So it's. Oh, we will fight for Iowa State, and may her colors ever fly. Oh, we will fight for Iowa State, with the will to do or die. Rah, 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 loyal sons forever true, and we will fight the battle through. And when we hit that line, we'll hit it hard, every yard for ISU.
Beautiful.
And then they
go
music. Cyclones.
Yeah, all that. Nice.
Yeah, sweet.
That was pretty poor on my part, but great on you.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. That's why there's two of us.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, that'll do it for the wheel. The wheel is done. It served its purpose. I hope you all enjoyed that because I had a fun time with it.
It was certainly a good time, you know. Getting to go through at least every single spin too. We didn't just write these and not use any of them. So I'm glad you guys all got to see these unique kind of spins. So.
Yeah, on the 100th episode of Extravaganza.
Yes, sir.
Well, I think our final segment here, we're just gonna talk about Iowa State athletics this past year and just what it's been like.
Right. So
we'll start with football. Obviously, it was the best season in school history. I mean, 11 wins. Not only did they get to 10, they got to 11. 11-3 overall. Trip to Arlington, a trip to Orlando with the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Ended the season on a win over a ranked Miami team. It was a lot of fun. Probably one of the most fun Iowa State football seasons I've ever, seen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know I've covered the team more than you have for 2 whole seasons compared to 1, but this is definitely by far, hands down, the very best experience I've ever had. I mean, getting to go to places like Iowa City, Kansas City, Arlington, Texas, and then Orlando, Florida. I mean, you don't get to really do that often for any other paper, so I'm very glad I was able to do this with the Iowa State Daily and very appreciative of it. And, the season in general is just very, very fun.
Yeah, I had so much fun with it. Watching Iowa State my whole life, and I didn't really go to too many games growing up, but to have a front row seat to every game at Jack Trice Stadium finally, and get to travel around the country to not only watch them but cover them at the same time. It's truly a blessing and something I'll never forget.
Absolutely, same here, bro.
Yep. Also in the fall season we had volleyball. Not the best season for them per se, but I mean, kind of riddled with injuries, especially when Naila Gonzalez went down. Not really a whole lot you can really do there.
Absolutely. I mean, Chrissy Johnson Lynch, does her best, and she's a great coach here. She hit a milestone this year, right? 20th season. Right?
Yeah,
20 seasons. With I would say, kind of one of those kind of milestone coaches here. Obviously Fenley is like the pinnacle, but got the other ones who are staying here for a long time. That's good to see. Got that consistency, but like you said, losing Gonzalez, the really gut punch right there, and they kind of just didn't really finish out as strong as they probably would have.
Yeah, I mean, even when you look at the coaches in their tenures, like Matt Campbell's the second longest tenured coach in the Big 12 now, behind only Mike Gundy.
And who knows how long he's going to be staying there, too.
Right, so. Yeah, which is kind of crazy when you think about it.
Right. Yeah.
Also in the fall season, soccer, a bit disappointing, but, hopefully they can right the ship this upcoming season, maybe.
Right, with new transfers and stuff.
Yep. Winter season, I mean, wrestling, a lot of injuries, a lot of things riddled right there, but they had an individual win a Big 12 championship and had some guys go sort of far in the NCAA tournament. So kind of an up and down wrestling season, I'd say.
Yeah, Panero Johnson, I feel like the Frostons really carried that wrestling season, but credit to Kevin Dresser, like I do with Chris Johnson Lynch, really tried to steal the ship as best he could, especially losing a couple key seniors, who are proven wrestlers, but did what he could, and obviously not the best, nobody would have wanted, but not horrible to say the least.
Right. Men's basketball, obviously the season started off with so much hope and promise of what this team could do, and they proved it early, but ultimately the injuries, I think, kind of bit them with Milan and Keyshawn and Curtis and Taman and kind of just everybody. It felt like it sometimes, but it was still really fun nonetheless. They won so many games, nearly went undefeated in Hilton Coliseum once again. We were able to go down to Kansas City again to cover the Big 12 championship. We went to Milwaukee to cover the NCAA tournament. Unfortunately, it ended a little earlier than we wanted it to, but nonetheless, it was still a really fun season overall.
Yeah, we go into Iowa City as well for that. So I mean, at least we got to say that they won a game in Kansas City and Milwaukee, so it wasn't just like a first round exit and then come back right away. So got to spend some more time there than we expected, and while it didn't go as planned, I thought it was a really fun adventure. Like I said, like for football, really never forget this experience. Really fun, a lot of fun this season. I just kind of wish the last season a lot more people healthy. This season not so much. If those are flipped, we'd probably be talking a lot more hopeful of them getting farther in the tournaments at least. But it's still a good season nonetheless.
Also, Curtis Jones is like the most fun person to talk to.
Oh yeah,
like he's like always happy and stuff.
Yeah, despite a loss, I mean, he's always he's always bringing a positive mentality, and love Kurt.
Yep. Women's basketball, they had another successful season. There was, again, a lot of promise early on with this team of what they could do. Ultimately made the tournament, which is, awesome to see. Played some really tough opponents this year. I mean, they played TCU. They played Iowa that was fresh off of back-to-back national championship appearances. And they played the two teams that ended up making the national championship in South Carolina and UConn.
Yeah.
Like, that's nuts that you play both of those teams in your non-conference.
Yeah, and both those games, I mean, it wasn't really close in either, but it kind of showed, I mean, UConn and South Carolina are the two best teams in the country right now, no doubt about it.
But UConn's the best team.
Now, yeah, with Paige Beckers going first overall to Dallas Wings and winning her national championship with Gino, of course. We love Gino over there. So, but yeah, I mean, for them to have that kind of non-conference schedule, I mean, props to Bill Fennelly for scheduling that because he wanted to test his team to see how he did against those teams. But while they did lose, I mean, it kind of helped them prepare for later on, I guess. I mean, they only did kind of have like one ranked win over Kansas State to end the season, but hey, that's one better than none.
Right. I mean, I feel like those games too were probably what kept them in that conversation for the tournament.
Right.
Like had they beaten up on like some lesser opponents, I don't know if they would have. Like they would have had the wins, but it's like, okay, well at least you're, playing these tougher teams and showing like, you can, play championship level teams.
Right.
And, try and contend with them, obviously.
Yeah. I'm glad they made it out of the first four against Princeton too. But then, the Michigan game was close. Just Michigan showed that they were just slightly better.
Yep. And then now we've got softball going on. The team's actually been doing really solid. Third right now in the Big 12. Last year I think was a little disappointing, but I mean this team has it rolling. They already broke the record for most Big 12 wins in a season for conference play. So that's pretty cool. And maybe they can keep it rolling once the Big 12 tournament comes around.
Yeah, they got a key group of freshmen and transfers that came in and really made an impact. And I mean, Jamie Pinkerton's really done a good job of rotating players in. I mean, it seems like the pitching staff's kind of rotating the same way every game, but they're still doing the job and getting wins. So I know today, as we recorded this Monday, they got the doubleheader win against South Dakota State, very huge before they head to UNI in-state rival. So I'm looking forward to see what they do for the rest of the season, just the way they'd be able to roll like this. I mean, I think their first Big 12 series against Houston, I mean, they beat them to start off the Big 12 slate, but then they lost to the other two. So kind of made me think, okay, then maybe they could be somewhat good, but now they're like really rolling, and really excited to see what they could do potentially in Big 12s.
Yeah. Well, that might do it.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching the 100th episode of the Sports Weekly podcast from the Iowa State Daily. We hope you enjoyed The Wheel. Something that we wanted to break out a long time, and we thought no better place than the 100th episode, Extravaganza.
Yeah,
so
no better time.
Yeah, it was fun. This was fun.
Absolutely, yeah. Hope you guys had the same amount of fun as we did.
I know. We'll be back again before the year's over for another episode or two probably.
Yeah, post-draft and all that.
Exactly. We got to talk about where the Cyclones ended up.
Yeah, maybe on the Ravens, maybe on the Cyclone, or the New York Cyclones. Yeah, funny enough. New York Cyclones, or maybe even my Bears, or anywhere else.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, thanks again for watching, you guys, and we'll see you next time here on Sports Weekly. See you later.